Well, today we're at Team Bath and we're going to be discussing the colour of our goggles, but specifically the lens colour of our goggles. Now, this might sound quite odd because most of us probably just choose goggles that we like the look of most and the colour of most. And I can definitely put my hand up here and say I'm guilty of this.
But what if we actually told you that all these different goggle colour lenses actually have a purpose, and quite an important purpose in triathlon? So today we're going to be explaining what all these different goggle colour lenses do.
Right, we have a whole bunch of different goggles here in an array of different colours. Some I prefer the look of more than others, but when it does come to performance, we kind of have to forget about that a little bit.
So sure, choose a shape of goggle that you like the look of, but choosing the correct lens colour depending on the light conditions or the clarity of the water can really make a big impact on the vision that you have when swimming and sighting for the swim course markers.
Yeah, I mean, when I turn up to a race, I'll quite often take a few sets with me. A, so that I have a spare set in case one breaks, but B, also so I'm prepared for all those different conditions so that I can see well throughout the race. So let's get stuck into it. Let's run through some of these different colours and how they help in different conditions. Okay, let's start with a clear set of lenses like these ones here. Now, the idea with these is that they let the maximum amount of light in through the lens and to your eye. So they work really well for swimming indoors when it might be low light, or even perhaps outdoors when it's overcast. And they will quite often have a UV protective coating for that. However, they're not very good at reducing any of the brightness or any glare that's coming off the water. So if you are doing a triathlon that maybe starts quite early in the morning, the sun's going to be rising on the horizon, these aren't going to reduce any of that brightness or any of the glare that you might get from that.
On the other hand, we have polarized goggles, and these can come in an array of different colours, but they do tend to come in this coloured mirror effect. But it is important to check rather than assume, because you can get non-polarized goggles that do come in a different colour. These are basically the opposite of clear lenses, and they are designed to filter any glare, cause reflections that might be across the surface of the water, and it makes them ideal for triathlon and open water swimming in general. And from experience, I'd say they're really quite a versatile and adaptable lens, and they can really work quite well on overcast days too.
Okay, mirror goggles are somewhat similar and they're good on those bright and sunny days. They reflect the light away from your eyes, giving you that slightly darker field of view. So again, great for triathlon and open water swimming. However, unlike the polarized goggles, they're not quite as good at filtering out that glare that you might get across the surface of the water. So as we discussed before, if you're doing a triathlon early in the morning when the sun is rising, getting that sun that sort of reflects off the surface of the water and might glare through your eyes, these might not be quite so good. That aside, they do tend to be very good looking goggles, and you do get a lot of competitive swimmers opting for this style. However, again, if it is overcast or slightly dim, do remember that this is going to be quite a dark field of view for that.
So this is where the non-polarized smoke goggle can be really quite useful. They'll help to reduce the light in a similar way to the mirrored lens, especially for outdoor swimming, but they won't be quite as dark as the mirrored lens. So really useful for bright, clear mornings, maybe when the sun isn't quite up.
Well, then we have a whole array of different colour lenses, and you'll actually find that different brands will focus on just a couple of those different colour lenses. One that I don't actually have here today, but used to be one of my favourites, was the yellow and orange colour lenses. Now, this is particularly useful in the UK for those overcast and dim days, because the yellow and the orange would actually help to enhance the light and also help to enhance the contrast of colours, which was particularly useful when you're trying to sight the buoys throughout the swim course. Now, I'll be honest, it wasn't the best look, but as I've mentioned earlier, this was all about performance.
So the blue lens can be considered really a bit of an all-rounder. It works well at reducing glare in bright conditions, but it can also enhance the blue in some waters, so they really can work well in outdoor swimming and also indoors in the pool. And in fact, I actually raced with this type of lens in my most recent event at Weymouth 70.3.
I also have a set of red tinted lenses here that I've never actually used before, but in theory, they should be somewhat similar to the yellow and orange lens color because they will enhance the light, but also they're meant to slightly reduce the glare off the surface of the water. Now, I say in theory because a pink lens color will normally enhance the light and increase the contrast between green and blue coloured objects, whilst a purple lens should actually help to reduce the glare off the surface of the water. And obviously the red sits somewhere between pink and purple and combines the two.
So it's also worth mentioning that a lot of brands will offer a prescription goggle. Now these simply feature a prescription lens that works just like a prescription glass would, but it'll help and support your vision whilst you're swimming. Now normally these will come in a variety of different colours, but that's going to vary from brand to brand.
Well, I hope you've learned something there, and perhaps it sheds some light on why you may not have been able to see quite so well in previous triathlon races.
And they can make a huge impact on your performance and certainly how to navigate around a swim course more smoothly. So if you want to see more videos, hit the subscribe here, and if you want to look at the video on how to prevent foggy goggles, click here.
Yeah, and if you'd like to see how to train like a pro for swimming, you can see that video by just clicking here.